No, we do not recommend that. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Georgina and I make videos all about making and selling candles. Today's video is part 2 of my Candle Making for Beginners series, and today we're going to be talking all about wax, the different types of wax, how to choose the right type of wax for you and your business, what wax we use, and some websites where you can buy candle wax from. Before we get started though, I'd just like to ask you, if you haven't already, to please subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Tuesday, however you can click the little bell next to the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I do post a video. And if you do enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate you giving it a big thumbs up so more like-minded people can see it. So there are a lot of different options when it comes to choosing your wax. So to make it easier for you, here are some factors which I would recommend paying attention to when you're choosing the wax for your candles and your candle business. Now you've maybe guessed it, the first one is price. Now of course this is really important because you need to determine how much you can afford to spend on your candle wax, as well as weighing up the pros and cons and thinking about how you want to market your candles and what you want to be able to offer to your customers in terms of what they're getting from your candles. i.e. if you're wanting to keep your candles very affordable, then you would probably be wanting to look at a paraffin wax or a paraffin and soy wax blend. Or on the other hand, if you're wanting to launch a luxury brand and a luxury candle, then you maybe want to look into beeswax or a sustainable vegetable wax. And similarly, if you want to market your candles as eco-friendly, then you'll probably be wanting to look into a vegetable wax blend which is eco-friendly and sustainable at the source. But either way, just like all of your other ingredients that are going into your candles, the cost of your wax has to be justified in the price that you are going to be charging for your candles, or the price that you want to charge for your candles. The second factor, and it's a biggie, is eco-friendly and sustainability. Now for a long time in the candle world there has been quite a hot topic of debate as to paraffin waxes compared to soy and other vegetable based waxes in terms of their sustainability, and it's not something I'm going to get into in this video because I could be talking about it for a very long time and I'm conscious that I don't want this video to be half an hour long. But as this video is aimed at beginners, I'm going to sum it up in a nutshell for you. So here are my thoughts on the whole soy paraffin debate. So in my opinion, soy wax was the big wax that came about as an alternative to paraffin wax and beeswax, which is what candles were made with for a very long time. And it was praised as being a much cleaner burning candle wax that of course comes from soybeans, a vegetable, compared to paraffin which comes from petroleum. However, due to so much attention in the media and various documentaries, rightly so, focusing on soy and its impact on the Amazon, talk has turned as to whether we should be using soy wax for our candles. And it's something that we've actually had a few comments on our TikTok in recent months particularly. However, the soy wax that we use is ethically produced in the US, far from the Amazon rainforest, and so for us I would say I'm totally comfortable with the eco status, if you like, of our soy wax. At the end of the day, I see it as coming from a sustainable source in that of course we can always grow more soybeans and plant more soy plants. However, paraffin wax at the end of the day is a petroleum byproduct and therefore it's a finite resource and not a sustainable wax to use, in my opinion. Now the third factor that I want to talk about today in terms of candle wax is vegan, and is it important for you that your candle wax is vegan? Now again, going back to my comment section on TikTok, I've had some people kind of joke about the fact that that we claim that our candles are vegan friendly, saying, well, what, are you going to eat them? No, we do not recommend that. However, it might interest you to know that not all candles are vegan, technically speaking. Obviously, many vegans wouldn't consider buying a candle if they knew it was made from beeswax or if it included any animal-derived ingredients, such as stearic acid, for example. So it's just something to bear in mind. From my point of view, I'm personally not vegan, however I know there is a massive market of people who are, and it's very important for them to know that if they're buying a product, they know that it's in line with their lifestyle and ethics, of course. And of course, I don't want to exclude a whole market of customers from even trying my products if I can help it. So that's one of the reasons why we chose to go down the vegetable wax route for our candles, and we actually use a soy coconut wax blend for our candles, which I absolutely love. It is of course a completely natural wax which doesn't contain any animal derived products, and our candles generally are free of any animal derivatives, and they also do not contain any ingredients which are tested on animals, which means that we can market it as vegan friendly. Previously we have actually used Golden Brand's Golden Wax 464 wax, which if you don't know is a 100% soy based wax, and whilst it was a really great wax in terms of the scent throw that it could achieve, as well as of course the lovely clean and long burning candles that we could produce with it, we did run into a few issues in terms of glass adhesion. As you can see, we use clear glass jam jars for our candles, so the glass adhesion for me, I am a bit of a self-confessed perfectionist. I am a lot harder on myself than I need to be. However, for me personally, I really wanted to achieve good glass adhesion for our candles so you didn't get any shrinkage or wet spots on the candles themselves. And in the beginning it was something that I struggled with a lot, to be honest, because I found that there was so many variables that I was looking at in terms of trying to achieve good glass adhesion as well as smooth tops when I was using 464, and that literally included everything from pre-warming my glasses in an oven or using a heat gun to warm them up before I added the wax to them, making sure that the room that I was pouring in was at an ambient temperature. It's quite a fickle wax to use, if I'm being honest. Obviously, when you're working with any natural wax, you can run into a whole bunch of weird and wonderful things that can happen with them. I know that now, but in the beginning I would really beat myself up about, you know, not getting a perfectly aesthetic candle with absolutely zero wet spots or anything like that. So I would try and suss out all of those variables, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. It's just one of those things. So that is of course one of the reasons why we chose to look for a new wax to use in our candles, and I find that now with the addition of coconut in our wax, it really helps give really good glass adhesion. Yes, we do sometimes still have wet spots in our candles, but honestly it's few and far between. And in terms of a nice smooth finish as well, I honestly don't really need to worry about it. Again, few and far between when I'm pouring my candles. I will sometimes, when I'm going back and looking at them afterwards, sometimes have a bit of an uneven finish, but honestly just a quick use of a heat gun on the top of them and they are good to go. And I don't need to worry about preheating my glasses or having my room at a lovely temperature for them. It's honestly an amazing wax to work with, and I almost don't even want to tell you about it because it is so good. And like every other wax out there on the market, because of supply and demand and Brexit and COVID and everything, wax is so hard to get your hands on right now, honestly. So that's why I'm kind of don't want to tell you about it, because I don't want more people to compete with, but it is really good. So if you are looking at using clear jars, then I would recommend, if not this wax that I'm using, then potentially another wax which includes coconut in it, because I've got on really well with it. If you've made it this far into the video, then thank you so much for sticking around, and here is another top tip which I'm going to throw in there as a little bonus. Now this may sound obvious if you're a seasoned candle maker, however this video is aimed at beginners, so if you are a beginner then I hope that this helps you out. And that is to remember that when you are looking at different waxes, although there are different types which we've just discussed in terms of what they are made from, there are also usually subcategories on most candle suppliers' websites where they will actually break it down into what that wax should specifically be used for. And usually they'll break that down into, I believe, container wax, pillar wax, melt wax, which could be the same thing, as well as tea light wax. So it's just something that I want you to consider, because if you're just starting out, it might not be something that you are aware of. So if you go ahead and use a pillar wax, for example, in a container, you are going to run into issues from the get-go, because obviously the wax is going to want to pull away from the jar, which will obviously present you with poor glass adhesion. And if you're anything like myself, then that will become very annoying very quickly. And lastly, if you're just getting started and you're wondering where to get your hands on some candle wax, first of all, good luck, because like I said, it is honestly like gold dust at the moment. But obviously most websites will give you the option to sign up for updates when a specific candle wax does come back into stock, so I would definitely recommend doing that. It seems to be certainly the only way that we can get our hands on wax at the moment. And I will leave a list in the description box below of recommended websites which you can buy candle wax from. They will be UK based companies because they're companies that we are aware of and use. However, if you are watching this from a different country, I would recommend doing a Google search for the type of wax which you're interested in, as well as your area, and seeing what comes up in the results. So guys, that is it for today's video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, and if you're a beginner to candle making, I hope that you found it informative and useful. If you did, I would really appreciate if you would smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to also go over and follow us on Instagram at Ivy and Twine Candles for more behind the scenes into our little business. And I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!